My name is Jessica Albritton. I am a sophomore biology major, pre-professional from Benton, Arkansas.
Okay, so you live in the quads, right?
I do. I live in Quad 5.
Okay, how do you feel about the rapes that's been happening on campus?
It is nerve-wracking when we got the notices, especially since the first one did not give a name, did not give much information. We weren't told what quad it was in. We were just told, an unknown male sexually assaulted an unknown female to us in one of the quads. I do feel like it would have been nice to have a little bit more information on that specific incident. It would have been nice to know what quad. It would have been nice to see some more patrolling through the buildings, possibly by UPD officers, maybe by other campus staff. Now, I will say a lot of the tips, the safety tips that were left on the doors given by UPD, I do think that those are a little bit more effective than some other students may be feeling. I have actually talked to officers about this. You cannot stop a rape before it happens necessarily, but there are things you can do to protect yourself. Locking the doors in the quads, for example, when we lock our front door, we have a deadbolt and we have a regular lock. If you use the regular lock, you can get in with a card. So just some certain precautions, making sure you do deadbolt the door at night. I do make sure that I'm with somebody. It does suck that I have to be that adamant to protect myself, but I believe at this point that's really all we can do.
Okay, do you feel safe living in the quads, even though there have been 3 reported rapes in the same area that you live in?
Honestly, I feel like no matter where I live, I feel like the same risk is pretty much run. I feel like it's something we need to do all that we can to protect ourselves. We need to, I keep my phone on me. If I'm going out at nighttime, I bring somebody with me. I try to be alert, but honestly, whether I lived in Honors or I lived in Cade or the apartments or even another campus, maybe in my own home, I feel like the same risks are there.
Thank you. What made you make that post?
Well, having personal relationships with people who have been sexually assaulted and seeing those signs with the victim blaming rhetoric just enraged me, because it's not okay to tell someone, well, you could have stayed in the light, walked more confidently, you could have done things to prevent what happened to you, and that's not accurate at all. And while it's good to have knowledge on how to be self-aware and aware of your surroundings and to protect yourself and whatnot, it's also not fair of the university to say that without coupling that with, more patrolling of the parking lots and in the buildings, more lights and cameras outside and stuff like that. If they're not going to provide more security for students, they don't have the right to say, like, well, you should have been more careful.
Yeah. Did you think that your rant would get as much attention as it did?
No, I didn't. I didn't expect that at all.
What did you intend to do after everything blew up? What, with the whole campaign and stuff, what did you intend to get out of that?
Well, we had our rape culture campaign on October 6th, and we were really just trying to raise awareness and see how people were feeling about the events on campus that had occurred. There were 3 sexual assaults reported on campus, and then 1 that was kind of iffy. So 4 reports on campus of sexual assault or that kind of activity, and not a lot of information flow was going on between the university and its students. And so we were trying to see, how the students were feeling, if they really even knew what was going on, if they felt like it was an issue and whatnot. And so we had our campaign to kind of gauge the emotions and whatnot of the students, and a lot of people, we got a lot of good feedback. A lot of people were messaging me and my roommate saying, we want to be more involved, keep us updated. So then the next step we did was we contacted the chancellor's office, and we were like, we would really like to have a meeting with the chancellor, which is totally unheard of. It's not a thing to meet with the chancellor. And they said, oh, well, we'll let his assistant know and see if he has time. And that was the beginning of October, so it's been a month and they haven't called us back. So we're just gonna keep calling, keep showing up at the office. We will talk to him.
Yeah.
If it's the last time we.
Surveys. Did y'all turn those in?
So we processed the surveys. The thing about that is because we didn't have like a signed consent thing, we can't use it we can't publicly post about it. We can only use it within the university. So we can tell university students, we can give it to teachers, we can give it to the chancellor, but we can't like post about it on social media. But we asked 3 questions, like, is rape an issue on ASU's campus? You would feel comfortable reporting a sexual assault to UPD, and ASU has room for improvement or no room for improvement on its response to the sexual assaults. And we kind of had a feeling of how it would turn out, and it was overwhelming. Like, yes, it's an issue. No, ASU has not done like its full potential. There is room for improvement, and I wouldn't feel comfortable going to UPD, which is an issue. They should feel comfortable
Yeah,
going to UPD.
sure.